Welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news on another presidential executive order, news from the Water District, graffiti vandalism, demolition of a house on Dale Howard's property out in Ridgecrest Heights, parade news, gas prices, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Thanks for joining us for the news. I'm Tom Wicknick. Here's news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. In news from the White House, and the President using his executive order authority, he has signed this executive order showing solidarity with workers on Labor Day. President Barack Obama will sign an executive order today requiring paid sick leave for employees of federal contractors, including 300,000 who currently receive none. The White House wouldn't specify the cost to federal contractors to implement the executive order. Obama will announce this during a major union rally and breakfast in Boston. The Labor Department said any costs would be offset by savings that contractors would see as a result of lower attrition rates and increased worker loyalty. But they produced no data to back up that. Under the executive order, employees working on federal contracts gain the right to a minimum of 1 hour of paid leave for every 30 hours they work. Stretched out over 12 months, that's up to 7 days per year. The order will allow employees to use the sick leave to care for sick relatives as well, and will affect contracts starting in 2017, just as Obama leaves office. In local water news, water conservation is still a problem for the Indian Wells Valley Water District and city residents. The state board has mandated all IWV-WD users to cut water use by 36% compared to last year. And looking around town, many residential lots, you can see many are turning brown. Some folks are removing all grass and installing desert-appropriate landscaping or even artificial grass. There is some artificial grass that now looks pretty real. The numbers this summer so far show June consumption down 34% from the previous year. July consumption is down 27%, and August consumption was down 27% as well. While the numbers show a decent reduction, they still don't meet the state 36% mandated reduction. If the Water District does not meet state mandated reductions, they are subject to fines. Of course, if they get fined, ultimately we are the ones fined, since we'll have to pay the increased cost for the fines. The state is requiring the Water District to hire a water enforcement person. It could be a part-time or full-time person. This person would also have to do outreach for water conservation to the community. Additionally, the Water District is being required to install an automated water metering system. This would allow real-time remote water meter reading. It would provide constant monitoring of a resident's flow of water. It could have the capability to provide a warning to the main monitoring station of higher than normal flows. Not only would it allow automatic billing of water, it could have other benefits, such as this would be helpful if there was a leak that may develop. There could be a warning system that would alert a Water District employee to the surge in flow. If there is a spike, the conservation officer could go to the residents and see what was causing the increased flow. The state wants this monitoring system to be in place by November, but the Water District has said they need more time to get a contract in place and actually get the work done. Anyway, this real-time system will allow the Water District to monitor everyone's use of water. Anyway, we are still not reaching the required reduction, yet large agricultural users out in the west end of the valley have no requirements to share in the state-mandated reduction. In additional news about the new Groundwater Sustainability Agency that is required to be established, our County Supervisor, Mick Leeson, says this is moving along quite well and should be accomplished ahead of schedule. This new GSA will be required to create and then implement a groundwater sustainability plan. No one knows what this plan will look like yet. Mick has been meeting with state water officials and getting their help in getting things moving as quick as possible. Mick has asked some of those state officials to come meet with the public at a community event. I would hope this means that these people will come here to meet with us in the valley, since this is where the new GSA responsibility is to govern the water in the Indian Wells Valley. There is still a lot of information on this new GSA that still needs to be made public, like who will serve on the new board, how many people will serve on the board, who will select the people that serve on the board, could these be elected offices, where will their offices be located, how many employees will be in this new agency, How much will it cost to maintain this new board? How will it be paid? Will this board have taxing authority? And I'm sure there's many more questions that will come up. Think about it. This is a whole new level of bureaucracy being established. We, the people, need to monitor this development closely. In news about the city's code enforcement case against Dale Howard out in Ridgecrest Heights, it has been announced by the abatement conservator that the burned-out house on Howard's property is scheduled for demolition on Tuesday, tomorrow. Mr. Howard was noticed months ago. The burned-out home had been tested positive for asbestos and would have to be completely demolished. His daughter had been living in the burnt building with no power or utilities. It was her opinion at the time that there was no danger in occupying half burned-out structure. The conservator disagreed and ordered her to vacate the house. Since Mr. Howard has not done it on his own, the conservator has the court-ordered authority to do it. The cost of the work will be passed on to Mr. Howard. Because of the asbestos, this demolition will have to be done in accordance with certain environmental requirements. It will not be cheap. The demolition will completely clear the property of all trash and debris as well. So, this will be one more major step in getting his properties cleaned up. In news about graffiti, there was an apparent heavy attack of graffiti tagging numerous locations along West Ridgecrest Boulevard. This occurred Saturday night sometime. Numerous locations were hit with a certain tag. The police documented all the tags. Whoever did this caused thousands of dollars of damage. The police department is looking for help on this incident. If you know anything about who did this, please contact the police department. And a reminder to parents, keep track of your kids. If your kids are determined to be the vandals that did a tagging, and you are not properly supervising your kids, parents can be hit for the bill for the damages. Parents need to make sure kids do not get unsupervised access to anything that can be used for graffiti tagging. In news from the Kern County Sheriff's Department, we get this notice. The Kern County Sheriff's Office is offering free seminars presented by the State of California Department of Alcohol, Beverage, and Control. The Licensee Education on Alcohol and Drugs is a 4-hour training class designed for owners and employees of ABC licensed businesses. We are offering a seminar in Ridgecrest on Thursday, September 17th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Ridgecrest City Council Chambers, 100 West California Street, right here in Ridgecrest. Seminar seating is limited. If you are interested in reserving a seat for one of the seminars, please go to the California Department of Alcohol, Beverage Control website at www.abc.ca.gov and follow the link to online lead registration. These enforcement operations are made possible by a grant funding provided to the Kern County Sheriff's Office by State of California Department of Alcohol, Beverage, and Control. ABC is a department of the Business, Consumer Services, and Housing Agency. In local real estate news, here's the latest on single-family home sales in Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. The recent report from the Association of Realtors shows 24 homes selling in July. This means home sales are staying about the same every month. The sales prices range from $32,000 to $169,000. The current listing of homes has 144 homes below $100K. This price range includes vacant lots for sale as well as single-family homes, and there are quite a few vacant lots listed. The multiple listings show 109 homes in the $100,000 to $200,000 price range. They have 25 homes in the $200 to $300K price range, and 15 homes in the $300,000 and up range. Closed escrows show an average price for a single-family home sold in July was $126,000. The report also shows that there are 22 pending home sales. Of course, in commercial news, the excitement is the building of the new Super Walmart. That will be interesting is that with the new Walmart, they are required to backfill the old store with new stores, not leave it vacant. So we'll see what happens with that requirement. So that's the report on how real estate is moving in the area. In local parade news, last Saturday, there was a parade of 1,000 flags. This parade is in remembrance of the attacks on the Twin Towers in New York on September 11, 2001. We will not forget, was the saying. Congressman Kevin McCarthy served as Grand Marshal and gave a speech at Freedom Park. There was also a beautiful chorus of God Bless America. It was a great event. The parade route was along South China Lake Boulevard. Flag bearers carried 1,000 flags into the City Hall Center and then into Freedom Park. All the flags will be posted for 1 week. Here's a video of the parade. In conjunction with the annual parade, there is on display at the Kerr-McGee Center the Remembrance of the Fallen Wall. This wall is in recognition of all the fallen soldiers from the state of California since 9/11. Remembering Our Fallen is now on display and will be there until Saturday, September 12th at the Kerr-McGee Center on 100 East California, right here in Ridgecrest. Hours for the viewing of the wall are Monday through Friday, 11 to 9 p.m., Saturday, 8 to 9 p.m. There's no admission charge. Stop by with the family anytime this week to observe what Freedom Park looks like with 1,000 flags blowing in the breeze. It truly is inspiring. Security for the event was supplied by the Ridgecrest Police Department, police and citizens together, PACT volunteers, police explorers, and the CERT volunteers. Thanks to the Ridgecrest Exchange Club for this great tribute to 9/11. Now, in KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. Well, since my last report on Friday, gas prices continue a slow decrease. Ridgecrest's lowest price fell another 4 cents since Friday. As of this morning, Ridgecrest is ranging from $3.15 to $3.59, Lancaster from $3.19 to $3.79, the LA Valley area $3.21 to $3.49, and the Bishop area $3.72 to $3.77. We have 5 stations coming in at the $3.15 figure. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Now stay tuned for weather and sports when we come back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's go to Keith for the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, isolated severe storms with hail and damaging winds are possible within a broad swath of the northern central plains and eastward towards parts of the lower and middle Missouri Valley. The risk for concentrated severe weather currently appears greatest over parts of southern Nebraska and northern Kansas. Temperatures across the nation: Carolinas came in at 77, Georgia 80, Arkansas 89, Texas 87, Arizona 89, Los Angeles 76. For our forecast here in the IWV, tonight mostly clear with a low around 68, south wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tuesday sunny and hot with a high near 101, calm wind. Tuesday night mostly clear with a low around 70, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Wednesday sunny and hot with a high near 103, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 72, south-southwest wind 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny and hot with a high near 104, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly clear with a low around 72, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And on Friday, sunny and hot with a high near 105, northwest wind 5 miles per hour. And the record high was set in 1998 at 108. The record low was set in 2000 at 54 degrees. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom and the rest of the KZGN News.
Thanks, Keith. And now Tom Heck with sports.
And a very pleasant afternoon to everyone. Let's take a look at local sports over the weekend. Burroughs lost a heartbreaker on Friday night up on the mountain at Tehachapi. Believe it or not, after the game, people were walking around in blankets. It got into the 40s. I thought it was beautiful up there. If you like defense, it was a fun night. 7-0 the final score. Burroughs had a couple chances. Tehachapi had a couple chances. Tehachapi frustrated, Burroughs frustrated. Both defenses had great holds when they needed to, and a few inopportune penalties each way spoiled some things. For Burroughs, it spoiled a touchdown. For Tehachapi, it spoiled a would-be touchdown late in the game. So life continues on to week 3. Garces next. That'll be at home. Garces is 0-2 right now. So Burroughs with a very good opportunity, I think, to do well this coming Friday night at home. The JV football team lost 15-0 against Tehachapi on Friday afternoon on the mountain, and the freshman team lost by a score of 19-17. So this week again, all 3 levels will be participating on Thursday and Friday, respectively, against Garces of Bakersfield. A rematch of last year, we had a very close game with them in Bakersfield, losing by 1 touchdown. All right, let's take a look about what's going on in baseball right now. Major League Baseball sees, as we have 3 weeks left, a real race for a wild card in the American League. The National League, pretty much, it looks like things are kind of falling in place right now. It looks like the Dodgers are well on their way to win the West. They now lead by 7.5 games. The Dodgers open up a 3-game series Monday night against the Angels in Anaheim. And the Dodgers right now are hitting the ball well, pitching well, and I look for them to finish out the West pretty much unscathed. The Giants struggling. They struggle in Colorado. They do win 2 of 3. They break their 5-game losing streak. Okay, let's take a look at what's the Angels, what they need to do. Right now they are 2.5 games behind second place in the wild card to the Texas Rangers, and about 1.5 games behind Minnesota, the Twins. Those 2 teams they have to overcome to get the 1-game wild card, as the American League East will host the other wild card. It'll be the Yankees or Toronto. Right now, the Yankees have a 1.5 game lead in the East on the New York Yankees. So Toronto 1.5 games in front. Kansas City has pretty much sewn up the Central Division. Minnesota, all they can hope for, a distant second place and to try to get a wild card. All right, let's take a look in the Houston Astros. They win 2 of 3 this weekend up in Minnesota. Only game they lost in the 9th inning on a 2-out triple that scored 2 runs. Astros playing pretty well on the road. They right now have a nice 5.5 game lead over the Angels, and they have a 3-game lead over the Texas Rangers. In the National League, the Mets now have lost 2 straight to Miami. That's not good, because Washington all of a sudden now has won 5 games in a row. Maybe it's not too late for Washington to wake up. They're now only 4 games back, and anything really can happen there. Okay, let's take a look at that Central Division of the National League. St. Louis well in front of Pittsburgh by 6.5 games. The Pirates and the Cubbies have number 2 and 3 locked up in the wild card, both teams from the Central Division. All right, let's look at football. College football underway. Hard to believe, but it got here. UCLA won pretty easily against Virginia. USC slaughtered Arkansas State. Why they're playing Arkansas State, I'm not so sure. They beat them 55-6. They play the 4th quarter on their knees. TCU beat Minnesota. Minnesota, a very good team. TCU number 2 in all the land. Pittsburgh beat a very much improved Youngstown State. Bo Bellini now the head coach at Youngstown after being released by Nebraska. Florida State, a winner over Texas State. And Notre Dame just beats up Texas. University of Texas, the Longhorns go down 38-3 in South Bend. Other winners, Alabama beats Wisconsin. Oregon in a fight beats Eastern Washington 61-42. Texas A&M beats Arizona State in Houston in a neutral field. Oklahoma a winner, they beat Akron. Kansas State easy over South Dakota. And if you can believe, the number 14 team in the land, Louisiana State, they were rained out slash lightninged out. Severe torrential rains with severe lightning in the Baton Rouge area wouldn't go away. They waited and waited, and finally they had to cancel the game with McNeese State, who is from nearby Lake Charles. So they may not even reschedule that game, from what I understood. So they'll lose out on week 1. Boy, it's tough. They can wait a long time. You can play in a downpour, but NCAA rules say lightning is no way. All right, that's your sports. I hope you have a very good afternoon. For KZGN, I'm Tom Heck.
So that's the news for today. All of us at KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. And stay with us for Ridgecrest Talk coming up next. And check out this real short video of some funny dog growling.
Oh,